Good morning. Today is Friday, and as usual, I am very, very glad. I'm always happy to see Friday come. I enjoy just having that time on the weekend to do things that I want to do or need to do, or to do nothing. And a lot of times it's just to do nothing, and that's kind of what's best for me, to have time to just wind down and refuel for the upcoming week. And I've noticed, and I talk a lot about the stress from work. I know jobs are stressful. Jobs were stressful before I lost Brayden, and that certainly didn't change. But the thing that did change is trying to process that stress in the midst of grief, when you feel like you don't have the capacity to add anything else on top of the grief. So it kind of just compounds everything. Life problems that come up, issues that arise when you just feel like, the sky is falling. Everything just seems very compounded just because of what your capacity is to handle those things. And I experience that a whole lot. My mind spends a lot of time in fight or flight, just feeling like you just got to run away. You just feel like in a panic, like I feel like I could open the front door and take off and sprinting, running, that's what it feels like inside of your mind and body. So I deal with that every day. But this morning I was in a meeting with my colleagues, and there were probably like 8 or 9 people in the meeting, and not all of them did I work with when I lost Brayden. So there were a couple of people in the meeting that knew my story, but the majority of them did not. And so this morning, we were talking about just different things, and it just seemed like the opportunity was there, and it was the right thing for me to do, to talk about him. So I told them my story, and I was able to keep it together better than I thought I would, but I was able to tell them my story, and I was able to show them Brayden's picture. And I like to talk about him. I want to talk about him, and I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions, is that people will say his name and then they'll apologize to me. And I don't want people to apologize to me. I want people to say his name and to talk about him. That's what I want. That's what makes me happy. Even if it makes me cry, if you bring him up or if you tell me something about him, I still want to hear it. Because you have this feeling that people are just trying to shelter you from it, which makes you feel like he's being forgotten. And I don't want that. I don't want that. His life was too important, and I want him to always be remembered. And I talk about him every day. I talk to him every day, and I always will. Because while he may not be here and alive, he's here and alive in me. So I'll go ahead and read my letter. This is from January 11th, 2026. And it was a short letter, so I'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, my precious boy. It's a cold Sunday morning, and I'm sitting alone in the quiet with you. It's snowing a little this morning. That was a nice surprise to wake up to. Everyone is still sleeping. I need these quiet times alone to settle my mind as much as I can. Work has been stressful lately, and it's very hard for me to not let dread start creeping in on the weekend. I hate that, because I need to try to create as much mental peace as possible over the weekend to prepare myself for the week ahead. I'm praying for our miracle. It's so important to me, so I'm trying to trust and believe that it's coming soon. And I'll just pause there for a minute, because I know you all hear me talk a lot about our miracle, and you may not know exactly what I'm talking about. But the miracle that I'm praying for is a miracle that would allow me to not have to continue working and to be able to live the rest of my days doing the things that I need to do or want to do to try and feel peace in my heart, to not have to be locked into a job that creates extra stress and anxiety and worry for me, and to just be able to experience financial freedom that would allow me to just have my time be my own, to do whatever I want to with it. And I'm not talking about anything extravagant or anything like that, but to just be able to have the financial freedom to not have to work, because my heart and my mind and my soul is just very tired. So I'll carry on. I'm having a hard time writing to you this morning, simply because sometimes I just need to sit in the silence with you. So this morning I'm going to stop right here. My mind is too hectic. I know you understand, my angel. Sweet face, sweet words, sweet boy. I love you, Brayden. P.S. Right now, I'm thinking back to all of those Mario Kart tournaments we used to have. I wish we could go back to that.